This is Secret Stories, and my name is Mary Cachapalia. Many people cannot be on camera because their employer, their family, their friends, their church or synagogue would roll their eyes, ridicule, misunderstand, or even fire them. And now we have the added stress of being heckled on social media. Well, Secret Stories shields you and allows you to tell your story with anonymity. Thank you for valuing what we do, and thank you for the support that makes breaking the silence possible. This is Grady's story, one quite different than some we have heard previously here on Secret Stories. My life took a turn I could never have predicted the day I met Desiree. Our connection was immediate, the kind of love that feels like fate. But it wasn't just about the surface attraction. There was something much deeper between us, something inexplicable and extraordinary. It wasn't just love at first sight. It felt like two souls destined to walk a very unique and challenging path together. I first came across Desiree in an online interview where she was sharing her story about strange experiences with implants and unexplained phenomena. Her story was so surreal that most people would have dismissed it as a conspiracy theory. But not me. I had seen something almost identical in an episode of The X-Files, where a shadow government was working with extraterrestrial beings to abduct and implant people. It was as though Desiree's life was mirroring the very narrative I had seen on television, and the synchronicity was too strong to ignore. That episode had stayed with me for years, and now it seemed to be playing out in real life. Intrigued, I reached out to Desiree on Facebook, and over the next 4 years, we became close friends. We talked for hours, bonding over our shared interest in hidden technologies and strange occurrences. But our connection wasn't just intellectual. Slowly, our relationship grew into something much deeper. Finally, we met in person at a retreat on Anna Maria Island, Florida, and sparks flew. I fell in love with Desiree, not just because of her beauty, but because of her bravery, resilience, and the profound spiritual connection we shared. It was clear that we were meant to be together, not just as partners, but as a team with a shared mission. Desiree had been through so much. She had been implanted with devices, something she had confirmed through scans, and she was determined to expose the truth about what had been done to her. Her courage resonated deeply with me. I believed her, not just because of our connection, but because her story mirrored what I had seen in that X-Files episode. I never doubted her. If anything, her experiences reminded me that the truth is often stranger than fiction. A few months into our relationship, my own life took an unexpected turn. One evening, I was on my way home from playing golf with friends. It was dusk, and the sun was setting as I made a quick stop at the grocery store. Everything seemed normal until it wasn't. As I drove, listening to Drive by the Cars, the world around me suddenly shifted. The sun, which had just been setting moments before, disappeared, and I was surrounded by a pitch-black night. Confused, I looked around and realized that time had somehow skipped. I thought I might have missed my turn. And when I checked my GPS, it indicated I was now 15 minutes and 9.8 miles away from home, a distance that didn't make sense based on where I last remembered being. I tried to shake it off, but I couldn't. Time had gone missing. To make things even stranger, Desiree had experienced something similar just days before. She too had lost about 45 minutes on our drive back from Phoenix. I didn't dismiss her story, not for a second. I believed her because this was how we met. Her story was no different from that X-Files episode that had so profoundly affected me. I trusted her instincts and experiences. I began to wonder, was this just a coincidence, or was there something much larger at play? Could it be alien implants? Was a UFO involved during the time-lapse event? 2 days later, I was back on the golf course with my friends, standing at the edge of a par-5 hole in a neighborhood course. As we waited to hit, I suddenly heard the beeping sound of a truck backing up. The beeping continued for what felt like 2 to 3 minutes. Annoyed, I turned to my friends and asked, "What's taking that truck so long to back up?" They looked at me, puzzled. They didn't hear anything. Not a beep, not a sound. That night, the strangeness continued. I was sitting at the dining room table with my dad in the living room when I suddenly heard the familiar sound of a coffee pot finishing its brew, the spitting and sputtering noise that happens when the last bit of coffee drips out. I felt the sound resonate through my chest, but something was off. My dad drinks coffee, but he wasn't responding to the sound. When I got up to check the coffee pot, it wasn't even on. At that moment, I started to wonder, was something more going on? Desiree had already revealed to me that she was implanted with devices, something she had confirmed through scans. Could I have implants too? Had the missing time incident activated something inside me? And more disturbingly, were we being tracked, or worse, controlled? My background in the Air Force, where I served from 2001 to 2007 and worked with Special Operations Command from 2005 to 2007, gave me a unique perspective on covert operations. I had seen things during my time in the military, things I couldn't quite explain. I had also heard whispers about programs that could manipulate human beings in ways most people wouldn't believe. Could I be part of one of those programs now? Determined to find out, I scheduled a nonlinear junction scan, a type of scan designed to detect foreign objects or implants in the body. The results were shocking. The scan revealed 6 devices implanted in my body, above my right eye, in both ears, near my right collarbone, at my brain stem, and near my right kidney. But that wasn't the most unsettling part. The devices were emitting a frequency, one that the experts conducting the scan had never encountered before. There are doctors who have been researching this phenomenon for over 20 years, and they can usually identify who owns the frequencies, typically large military industrial complex companies or aerospace corporations. But this frequency was different. It was classified, so classified, in fact, that even the experts couldn't trace it. Why was this frequency classified? And what was the purpose of these devices? Was it simply to track me? Or was there something more sinister at play? Desiree and I couldn't help but wonder if this was connected to our work in exposing hidden technologies in covert operations. The devices, the classified frequency, it all seemed too deliberate. Were we being monitored because of our efforts to bring these truths to light? I began to recall the connection between the military-industrial complex and extraterrestrial technologies, something that had been long been suspected by researchers. Could these implants be alien in origin, placed by a shadowy collaboration between the government and extraterrestrial beings? As we dug deeper, we began to see a connection that led us to even more disturbing possibilities. Programs like Project Blue Book and operations like Blue Beam had long suggested that the government was not only aware of extraterrestrial life, but was actively working with them. Some even believed that the ultimate goal was to stage a fake alien invasion, uniting humanity under a single global government, a new world order. The pieces were falling into place, and Desiree and I knew we had to take action. We didn't stop at just uncovering the truth for ourselves. Along with our good friend Jesse, who shares our passion for exposing hidden technologies, we founded Mind Nexus Live. Our mission is simple: to bring these covert operations to light and help those who have been affected by them. Mind Nexus Live isn't just about raising awareness, it's about taking action. We host retreats, offer online events, and provide support to people who have experienced similar phenomena. What we're doing is gaining momentum. With the recent congressional hearings held by the House Homeland Security Committee and Lieutenant Colonel Egren testifying that Havana syndrome is real and he can prove it, Desiree, Jesse, and I know we're on the right path. We aren't just a couple in love, we're a team, driven by our mission to help others and expose the truth. Our love brought us together, but our shared experiences gave us purpose. And as we stand side by side, we know we're ready for whatever comes next. Whether it's government, agencies, extraterrestrial beings, or covert technologies, we're determined to fight for the truth and for the people whose lives have been affected by the same hidden forces that have touched our lives. Mind Nexus Live is more than just a platform, it's a movement. And together with Desiree and Jesse, I'm at the forefront of that movement, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, fueled by love, courage, and an unwavering belief in the truth. Thank you, Grady. Now yours is a story unlike the ones that we've been sent before. Simply fascinating. And thank you for sharing your experience with us as well. It takes guts to share your experience, and when you feel ready, we will share your story for you. This is Mary Cachapalia. May love and light be with you.